Here today, I want to kind of give everybody here a little tutorial on the Fortuna divider rounder. This is a model 4-30, meaning it is a 30 part. It will do up to about 3.5 ounce pieces once it's fully portioned on the high end. I get a lot of questions about features of this machine and what everything does, so I kind of just wanted an all-in-one video so everybody understood all of its features. So to start, this is not the correct size dough pallet. I just wanted to give, again, a tutorial of how it works. So I'm going to show you how to set the blades, I'm going to show you how to clean it, I'm going to show you how to set the ceiling height for the divider head. So let's get started. First off, with your dough pallet in, you're going to want to set your knife height to make sure that your knives are not going to touch the dough pallet as it's rounding. So we are going to lock in the two knife head locks, put some pressure down, release the knives, and you're going to see the knives come all the way down to the dough pallet. If you're making contact, it needs to be raised. You're going to want about 1 to 2 pieces of paper between the dough pallet and the knife. You can see it's moving nice and freely there. In the event it is scraping and needs to be raised, this limit screw right here needs to be backed out. And what that's going to do is it's going to limit how far the knives can actually come down. Right now it's making contact all the way down, so that's adjusted almost perfect. That's thing number one. Thing number two, it needs to be rotating the correct direction. This is a 3-phase machine, which means the polarity of the motor can be reversed. We're going to turn it on. This needs to spin, and if you're looking down from the top or from the front here, it needs to spin in a clockwise motion. And you can see that the rounding plate is moving clockwise, which is good. Basic order of operations, you're going to have this dough pallet, usually multiple of them on a table, multiple batches of dough. You're going to take that batch of dough, and just remember whatever total weight you have is going to be divided equally into 30 parts. And it cannot exceed 3.5 ounces. So that's a calculation you're going to have to do on your own. Once you have your dough on the pallet, you're going to take it, you're going to spread it out just a little bit to help the machine work not so hard. You're going to load it into the machine. The dimple here is going to sit into your dough pallet dimple there. And it has bumpers on the back side where the dough pallet will knock into to hold this dough pallet from moving. Again, this is not the correct dough pallet for this machine. This is just for this video purpose. From there, you're going to make sure your locks for your knife head are unlocked. You're going to bring your pressure head down. You're going to smash the dough down. What this does is it spreads it out evenly on the dough pallet. You can see this retaining ring comes down first to keep all that dough in from squishing out. You're going to push it down. Then you are going to turn the machine on. You're going to hit the knife release, and you're going to push it down even further, allowing the knives to release and actually cut the dough. While holding it down, you're going to come over here, and you are physically going to push down on the divider. On the rounding plate. You're going to hold that for 8 to 12 seconds. Release. You're ready to go. Now, on the back side of the machine is your ceiling height adjustment. To get around, you need pressure all the way around the ball to physically get a symmetrical shape. On the back side of the machine here is your ceiling height adjustment. Each one of these holes is numbered. I just have a screw in here again for video purposes. Each of these holes is numbered. General rule of thumb is a larger piece of dough requires a higher number. Smaller piece of dough, smaller number. There is only one position that this screw can fit into each of these holes. So you're going to need to lift the weight or lift the bottom plate in order to get this to fit properly. So now it's fitting in number 16. It will not fit in any other of these holes. It is only going to fit in 16 until I adjust it or drop it to fit somewhere else. Now I'm in 17, it will not fit in 16. To clean the machine, we are going to first lock in our knife head. we are going to release the knives. You can see only the knives came down. There is no retaining ring, there's nothing else. We are going to take apart this linkage here and allow this to just fall down nicely. We are going to pull this pin. Some models have a nice handle. They're nice and free to move. Others, you physically need a hammer and a punch to pull this pin out. And we are going to lift on this handle and tilt the head over. It does have a stopping mechanism on it, so it will sit. And from here, you have access to the knives, you have access to the rounding plate. You can clean everything, you can lubricate it, whatever you need to do. Once done, flip it back up and reattach your linkage, put your pin in. That is the only feature of this machine that you need to worry about. There is nothing else. Hope that helps.